Peace, this is Brother Hatim, and you have joined us on Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Be sure to check out our site and subscribe at tribe.gyenyame.com.
All my brothers and sisters, hold hands and bow your heads. Let us pray. God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth amongst the gods. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? I say, defend the poor and the fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and the needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of court. I have said, ye are God, and all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. Allahu Akbar.
This is Kadara Franks, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Keep up with the journey. Check out what we have done in the past. Go to journeyarchives.com.
This is Adnan Sheik, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge, and you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Be sure to follow Gye-Nyame Journey on Facebook, Google+, and Twitter. Check us out. Join the journey.
This is Adnan Sheik, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge, and you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio with Monica. Enjoy.
This is Melina, and this is Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
This is Willie. Welcome to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. I want to give a shout out to Sibling Kevin, all my sibling nation out there. I want to give a shout out to my mom. I want to give a shout out to my dad for raising me and my family for being around me. And I want to give a shout out to the people of my generation that's trying to do something big.
This is Cleveland, and you're listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Peace, Hotep. It's Mansour Hotep, aka Mr. Deity. Mr. Deity, does it sound good? I think it sounds great. Right now, you listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
If you're not adding anything to the culture that you claim, you don't deserve to carry his name. This is Brother Hatim coming at you live, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Shout out to Gye-Nyame Tribe.
I am this brother that you and Rank. We are doing one of the I ain't gonna call it rare, but we do this. This is how we started. We started with Freestyle Fridays, and now I'm doing a special Freestyle Friday. I had an opportunity to interview or have a discussion with, because we don't interview, we family. So you don't interview family, you just have a discussion, right? With a sister from the community who is versed in the ancestors, who practices her spirituality, who walks the talk, talks the walk. You know what I'm saying? So we want to discuss with her and have a good time, because I found out she had a YouTube channel. I looked at the YouTube channel. I said, man, listen, it's time for Columbus. It's time for Columbus to blow up. It's time for us to do our thing. So we got to start sharing our talent, right? We got to start sharing our information. So we'll talk about, like I said in the byline, we're going to talk about family and ancestors and everything in between. All right? Before we get down into the conversation, y'all know that I have to pop a bottle of this ambrosia. I want to send shouts out to Naichi, brother Naichi. Good to see you. Can you turn that light on, please? Thank you. I want to send shouts out to brother Naichi. Thank you for joining me, man. I ain't seen you in a while, miss fam. All right, so hey, let's get it popped off. I'm gonna pour this ambrosia, and after I pour this ambrosia, we're gonna sit down. We're gonna talk with the sister. We're gonna have a great conversation. Once again, we're joined by Queen Najla Parish. Say who? It's N-A-L-A? Oh, okay. But I did spell it right. N-A-J-L-A? All right, Najla. All right, cool. So, hey, those people out there on Facebook, y'all need to let me know if y'all can hear her. We're streaming live on Facebook at this time, too, as well as recording on speakers. So we got to do it fast because how long my Wi-Fi connection will last. We will open up the lines in maybe 35 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the conversation go. We'll open up the lines. If you got questions, you either text them directly on the Facebook page, or you can call in, and I'll drop that number after we get the conversation started. Of course, you know this is Gye-Nyame Journey Radio, and I am your host, Brother Hatim. You are now listening to Freestyle Friday. And of course, you know this is a Heart of a Simba production. Where our only goal is to blow up your old paradigm, because it's your old paradigms that's holding you a prisoner. Alright, now I'm sipping on ambrosia. I got Queen Najla on the line. It's about to go down, fam. So, first off, can you introduce the listeners can you introduce yourself, Queen Najla?
Yeah, this is Queen Najla. I'm self-employed. I have been self-employed for quite some time. I'm not sure how many years, but I teach African dance, and I'm a drummer, storyteller. I'm a spiritual life coach. I guess you can call that a self-empowerment coach. And a few other things in there, but I guess that's the most important there. Storyteller, drummer, dancer, and spiritual life coach.
A spiritual life coach.
So,
okay.
Yeah, that tells you, you need to look into the spirit, because 99% of your existence is spirit. 1% is skin and bone. So you want to spend 99% of your time in spirit. Because they can do everything and make your life so easy. Far beyond you can even imagine. But you gotta do it. You gotta do it every day. You gotta talk to them every day. You gotta know that they're with you. And when you want something done, you just start talking. You call their name out. They like you to call their name out. And they like for you to talk to them and pray for them as if they were people walking on the earth just like you. That's very important. And they also want you to ask them to do things for you. call them for everything. Everything I can think of. And I set the mood on the day. I tell them what I say, I ask them what would they like for me to do today. What would they like? And then I will say what I would like. Now, I may not hear the answer, I may not hear it verbally, but I'm sure some people do. I just know, I'm guided. So wherever I'm guided to, then that's what they say.
Okay. So now, I got because you started off with the storyteller. You got a short story that you can share with us?
About my ancestors?
Or see, now remember, this Freestyle Friday. We don't have a script. So if the story's not necessarily about the ancestors, believe you me, I could bring it back around. I want to send shouts out to Shauna Jones. Thank you for tuning in, sister. Good to hear from you. But go ahead. If you want to, you don't have to. But I'm just saying, if you got a story you want to share, one that might be on your heart.
Okay, I got a story there. It just came up. All right. There was this little girl. She was about the age of 8 or 9. She was a mean little girl. And she didn't have that many friends because she always had her nose turned up and with a nasty attitude. So, one day, this girl was walking home from school.
Open the door. I'm sorry, go ahead.
She saw a little snail. She saw a little snail walking down the way there. And she said, you know what? I don't like these nasty little snails. I think I'm going to just smash it with my foot. So, she walked closer to the snail. And she was about to smash that snail. And the snail said, what? So now this little girl's shocked now because the snail talked. And so she jumped back and she said, oh, okay, you can talk. All right, well, why should I save your life? Why should I not smash you now? Why should I not kill you? And the snail said, because I can give you 3 wishes. So the little girl got real happy. She could get some wishes. Okay. So she's standing there and she said, okay, my first wish is that I can have 1,000 more wishes. How about that? So the snail said, oh, clever girl. Okay, wish away, wish away. The little girl was wishing for bicycles and hats and socks and shoes and every little girl could wish was the age of 8 or 9. She just thought of everything. So all this stuff was all around and everywhere, all around her, and she was still wishing. And then it started to get dark outside. She was there that long. So she got scared. And she said, it's all your fault. You nasty snail. My mother's going to get me because I didn't get home in time enough to eat dinner. And I didn't do my homework. And I might get a B or a C on my test. It's all your fault. I wish I was dead. And that's the end of the story.
Be careful what you wish for, huh?
Well, that's the moral of the story. Now, the audience may say, be careful what you wish for. But this is what I'm adding on to it. What I'm adding on to it is, be careful what you think about, talk about, and sing about. Because that is your wish.
So now, you are a spiritual life coach, and you specialize with helping people connect with the spirit. What are some of the methods that you use to help people connect with the spirit?
Okay, say, I help people connect with the ancestors, but I also help them develop their business. Whatever they're wanting to happen in their life, I'm helping them by teaching them certain things to do and say to the ancestors.
So you teach people how to communicate with the ancestors. Now let me ask you this. Why is it important? Why should I communicate with my ancestors? What reason should people have for communicating with their ancestors? Because you know we got a lot of people that feel like this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying, they're dead. You know what I'm saying? Why do I need to? Why isn't that necromancy or something like that?
Well, if you let's put it this way: if you have no spiritual direction, you are open to anything. You are open to drive-by bullets. You are open to police brutality. You are open to car accidents, because I don't get in car accidents no more. You are open to anything and anybody's agenda. That's how powerful it is to be in contact with your ancestors, because they can do everything. They can protect you. They can tell you which road to go down if you're listening, and they can build your income. They can heal your body. They can bring you anything you want, and without human intervention.
Now,
who wouldn't want something like that?
well, everybody, you would assume everybody wants that, right? But the bottom line is that most people don't know how to go about establishing this relationship or even understand the relationship, right? So, what is my relationship, or what is the listener's relationship to the ancestors?
These are your people that you knew. These are the people that you talked to. You held their hand. You kissed them. You hugged them. You saw the clothes they wore. You saw how they walked and drive a car. You know them. And so, therefore, you're going to be really close to them, and you were close to them when they were here. It's like Christians. It's like Christians, okay? You know, you go to church and you talk about Jesus Christ. Well, actually, he's one of the ancestors, but you didn't know him. You didn't meet him.
Ooh.
You would get a better connection if you talked to somebody that you knew that was walking here and talking to you when you were here.
So they're like go-betweens between you and the Creator.
Yeah. I mean, wherever you want to put Jesus Christ, that's the spot. Because I mean, all those other people, Harriet Tubman and all them, those are ancestors too. But you
Right.
don't really know them.
Right.
I'm talking about the ones that you were in your house. You know, you were in their house.
You was in their house. You ate their food. They put clothes on you. They bought you know what I'm saying? They got you shoes when your shoes wore out. These were people who showed you love and helped form you into who you are. Now, because I'm asking for some of the people who are not familiar with the whole power of the relationship piece. Now, you spoke about communicating with them. What are some of the methods that you use to communicate with the ancestors?
I have an altar. Now, the altar has pictures on it, and I have a white candle, and I burn my white candle all night in a glass. Okay, and I put things on the altar that I know my mother liked peppermint candy, so I have peppermint candy. My father likes pecans, so I got pecans on there. I don't put any stuff on there that's going to be open you know, I just put stuff on there that's simple. Very simple things. Okay? So, by you sitting there, and you have this altar, and you're talking and conversation into these pictures, you're putting power into those pictures. You're making that real powerful for you to be doing that. Okay?
Right.
Because this is real. This is real. They're real. They just left their bodies. Their spirit is still here. And I'm sure if you went past and left your body here and they buried you in the ground, you would want your children to celebrate you. You want your children to keep the pictures there and talk to you. You would want that.
One of the first lessons that I learned was for Africans, hell is being forgotten. You know what I'm saying? For our people, a generational people, because a lot of people we don't understand that we're generational people, and we done fell into other people's tradition where we believe in the reincarnation in the way that other people believe in the reincarnation. But in our reincarnation piece, we reincarnate back into our bloodline, back into our families. You know what I'm saying? So it's like what I set up for my family is what I come back to. So if I leave my family in confusion, and if I leave my family, excuse my term, in fuckery, and if I practice, excuse my term, bitchcraft, and cause all types of confusion, when I come back, more than likely this is what I'm going to come back into. So you're saying that by establishing a relationship, you know what I'm saying, by taking care of your ancestors, you are in a sense not taking care of your now as well as in a sense guaranteeing your future.
When you communicate with your ancestors, you're taking care of them because you want to pray for them. You're taking care of yourself, and you're taking care of your children and all your descendants. That's how powerful that is. Now look at the people in old Egyptian Kemet. Look what they did. Look what they did to the mummies. They had gauze a mile long, and they used that gauze to wrap every finger and put all that gold and everything in there. Now, you see how important that is to them by the way they treated the dead people. You could see it. If you ever studied it, that's how important it is.
Let's talk about the concept of death from an African perspective. Can you go into that a little bit? Because obviously it's a little bit different than the perception we've been fed over here, because in the sense over here, although people talk about heaven and all that, you know what I'm saying, we don't really act like we're trying to get to that place, because really when you look at how this whole system and all the lessons are laid out for us, it appears that death is the end. So how should Africans look at it?
Let's put it this way. Some Africans really, really respect their ancestors, and they keep that spirit alive, and they talk to their ancestors, and they worship them. It's just like you're going to church. I've met Africans that don't do that.
But now I got a question.
I don't know where the disconnect came from, but they have been colonized and whatever happened, but they lost it.
Sort of like we did. I mean, because we lost ours. So going back prior to the incursions, how did we view death?
Prior to the what?
Incursions, prior to the West Asians running into us. I don't say I'm getting away from the European thing, because Europe don't exist. Europe is a idea that has been forced on us, right? Europe don't exist. It's just West Asia. So I call them West Asians. That's because that's what they are. They go all into the France and the all those other, but it's just West Asia, right? Before the incursions, how did we look at death?
Okay, now this is the way I got it. Okay, I didn't go studying it. I really didn't go studying it. What I did was I saw some people doing African dance. I believe it was Tony West and Imani and Aziza and all them. And I could not believe my eyes. I could not believe, it was like, it jerked me when I saw it. Now this was some years ago. And so I just started taking the dance class. And so then one day I walked into the building and they were rehearsing the drumming, and the drums said something different to me. They called me somehow, and I had to go run to the bathroom and change my clothes and get my dance clothes on because I wasn't ready to get on the dance floor. Okay, now that's when the drum called me. Now, I meditate a lot, so my spirit goes to Africa anyway because I meditate all the time, a lot. More than I would even ask somebody to do. How I was able to connect without doing all that studying of my history.
So what I'm asking for, because you got to understand from the Gye-Nyame perspective, right? We got too much information. We got too many goddamn scholars. This is why when I was young, I didn't want people to call me a young scholar because I was a young doer. You know what I'm saying? I was out exploring and I did some reading, but I find that the real book is written in the world by the hand of our Creator. So from your experience, not from what I'm just trying to figure out, how do we look at that? Because many of us are just, like I said, we're generational people. So some of us are coming back from a time before the incursion. So we're bringing back ancient wisdom. So from your perspective, what is that? Because we're talking about the ancestors. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, you want me to talk about the okay, this is how I'm looking at to say. This is what I'm looking to say. I think that if you decide to start a meditation practice, I'm not talking about doing nothing specific. You sit down, shut your eyes, shut your mouth, and do not have any music or anything on. Quiet. And you just sit. You will be transformed. And you can hear everything. You can hear your ancestors. You can hear a million years ago. You can hear everything. But you got to keep practicing that meditation. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's how I believe that's how you get there. I believe that's how you know who you are. That's how you can do the magic. That's how you can have immortal and just what do you call it? You will have
immortality.
Natural things happening. Yeah, yes.
So that you.
Yeah. And it's
all right. So now.
Just sitting down and,
all right, but back to the death. Can what is your perception of death? Because this.
What is my perception?
Right, because this is the issue. Far as like, for many of us, the one thing that's being held over us to stop us in our growth, to stop us in our forward progress, is fear. And the major fear. Yeah, the major fear that they pump into us is a fear of death. Okay. So as a spiritual teacher, as a person connecting back with your culture, what is death coming from your perspective?
What you mean, how to overcome the fear?
Not just to overcome the fear, but understanding what it is, because if you understand what it is, I don't think you really have to fear it.
Fear is, you spell it out. Fear is false evidence appearing real.
But I'm talking about death. What is it?
False evidence appearing real.
Oh, you saying death is false evidence appearing real? No, we're talking about death. What is death?
What is D-E-A-T-H?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. What is death? Death is non-existent.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to get to.
Non-existent. You are continually alive. You may leave that jacket you got on, that body, that jacket, and go somewhere else, but life is continuous. There's no such thing really as death.
Okay. All right. So now, I got another question before we get back to the answers, because we're about to chop this up real quick. Can you define spirituality, at least from your perspective? Like I said, because I don't care about the book knowledge. What I care about is what's working for our people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not concerned about a book definition. From your experience in your life, can you share with us what spirituality is?
Spirituality is staying inside. Stay inside. Stay where all your power is. You want to have a life full of great spirituality, you stay inside. And you make people secondary to everything. Spirit is first, people are second. You are a mirror of everything that happens outside of you. So if anything's happening outside of you, it started inside of you first. You need to join in on that conversation that's always going on in your mind. Not let your mind do whatever it wants to do when it wants to do it. You join in on that conversation and you decide what's going to happen. Okay?
Okay.
So that's the way I can explain it is
All right.
99% spirit.
Yeah, you said that at the beginning.
If you look like you're talking to yourself, then hey, whatever. But you're going to have to get a hold of that conversation that's going on inside your head. If you want anything to change significantly in your life and make it go the way you want it to go. Because that conversation that's going on is that conversation with your ancestors. Whether you know it or believe it or not. That's a powerful conversation. And that's that was in the story that I told earlier about the little girl. She wasn't paying attention to what she was thinking. So she just said, I wish I was dead. Well, you spoke it and you did it.
So a lot of stuff that's happening, so a lot, from that perspective, a lot of craziness that's happening in people's lives are a result.
Is because of that conversation that's going on. And you think that's because you gossiping over here and you think that person doesn't hear you. You're over here in this place gossiping about somebody over there across the country and you think they don't hear it? You think it's not affecting you? It's affecting you.
Now then, okay, you ready for this one? Are you ready? Because we're gonna make some people mad because I'm about to ask a crazy question.
Okay.
This whole process of the incursion, this whole process of slavery, do you believe that it was a result? I don't even like call our captivity, let's say, was a result of our collective thoughts, our collective conversations.
Right on, brother. Right on. Nothing comes to you without the thought happening first. It has to be thought of first, and then it comes to reality. That's why you got to be careful what you're talking about, what you're thinking about, and what you're singing about, because that is your wish. That is your prayer. So I don't know what the Africans did. They had slaves now. They had slaves in Egypt. I saw the whole story. They had slaves. You know, the Moors had white slaves. We were the ones that had the slaves in the beginning. Okay? So now the picture turns around. It turns, so Then now we became slaves. Okay, so now we coming out of slavery. Now what you gonna do? You gonna stand up to your power now because you already got all the power. Well, I'm talking about the dark, the chocolate people. We already got all the power. We've already had white slaves. We've already ruled this and that and the other and built empires and pyramids and all stuff all over the world. Now, you ready to take your power back?
Okay. All right.
You take your power back by communicating with your ancestors.
All right, cool. Now, question. Because you spoke about how you communicate with your ancestors. You said that you built the altar. You listen to you listen to them. You sing. You do certain practices. But
I pray for them and I talk to them.
Okay. So how do your ancestors communicate back to you?
Through action. I haven't developed the ear to hear their voices. Some people can hear them and some people can see them. I haven't developed that ability yet. So what I do is I get quiet so I can know which way they're taking me. Stay silent. And so this is how it goes in the Bible. Be still and know that I am God. It's the same principle. It's all the same principle. Be still and know that I am God. Well, it's really, if you read it, you're talking to yourself. You're talking to yourself when you say it. Be still and know that I am God. So if you stay still and be quiet and quit wandering your brain around to here and there, you already know that you're God.
Well, most people don't.
Yeah, I know.
Most people have been. I mean, that's part of the training that we receive. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't benefit society for everybody to believe that they're God. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It don't benefit.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying if you communicate with the ancestors, if you just tell them what you want, if you tell them how you want to live, if you tell them what you want to happen, you tell them to heal your body, you tell them anything. They're not the same people they were when they were living. They're more powerful when they pass over. So whatever you think they can't do, they can.
All right, so now
they can do anything.
Let me ask you another question, just from your experience. Birth. Do we come here by accident, or do we choose to come here? You understand what I'm trying to ask? Because it's like,
you said, do we come here by accident?
Yes.
No, we don't come here by accident. Nothing is an accident. There's no spare parts anywhere. We are creators. We have this higher power that's creator, but we are creators. We chose everything. We chose to come here. We chose to be this color. We chose to live in the house we live in. We chose to drive the car. We chose everything.
So you said now, all right, now, so, all right, so we chose all of this, right? But so I mean, I could have chose to be a different color. I could have chose a different family.
You could have. You could have. But whatever reason why you're here for what you are is something that you probably need to learn as you are with the dark skin.
Okay.
Maybe you were miserable, made somebody else's life miserable, and so you came back chocolate, and now you have to deal with this.
Yeah, that's kind of problematic for me, but I hear you. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm serious, because my issue is my thing that I'm exploring at this point in time is the fact that there's an attachment to bloodlines. You know what I'm saying? And when we come back, or when we choose within the bloodline. Well, I ain't gonna say, I'm not saying it as a fact. I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know what I'm saying? What good would it be to praise the ancestors if the ancestors are different every time? You understand? I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's sort of like it's just a amorphous energy out there. You know what I'm saying? And that really doesn't have a shape. Huh? Mm-hmm.
So you are light. You are pure love because the only thing real is love. And if you stay in the love energy, you will have everyone eating out of your hand. If you stay in appreciation and loving everything around you, the world will do everything you want. Now I got show proof of that. It will do everything you want. May not be the second you want it to happen, or maybe something better than what you thought you could have. But definitely, if you're sending out love and appreciation to all around you, they will start appreciating you, and they will treat you like queens and kings. I've had numerous people I test them on their job. They have problems on their job. This person is messing with me, and this one doesn't get along with me. And I said, okay, I want you to just sit in your house and do a little prayer for that person. When you get up in the morning before you go to work, just do a little prayer for that person. Just do a prayer. Send them some love energy, and, whatever you want for your life. Just do it. And appreciate, in that prayer. Do your appreciation in that prayer. And they go to work and they say, wow, that person acts altogether different. And they do. Try it. Try it. That's the proof. Try it. Pray for the person at work that's getting on your last nerve before you go. And I mean a heartfelt prayer. Just say a few things and then go to work. And be open to what's going to happen. Amazing.
But you got to be open for it.
Yeah, you got to be open
right.
to it. You can't be in, you got to stay in that prayer that you said. You got to stay, you got to know that you said that prayer and stay with it. Stay with that prayer you said. Don't turn back to what it was before, to get on my nerves and stuff, because that's going to mess up the energy. That conversation is your wish. You're going to stay in that prayer. Okay? So when you get to work, you're going to say, okay, I had this prayer about such and such, and I'm going to go in here and see how they act.
So you saying not just because basically what it is when you say the prayer, the singing, our actions are prayers, our words are prayers, the things we think are prayers, and they're going out and they're manifesting. Right?
All the time. That's why people don't know why they get stray bullets. That's why they don't know why they get in car accidents. And on goes the story. Everything that you call to you comes to you. No mistakes.
Wow. So you could call death.
You could call death. Haven't you seen Tupac and Biggie? Did you hear them call death?
Hey, you better leave my generation alone. Hey, you can't talk about Biggie. But I mean, it's true.
You've heard them call death in their music, and that's what happened.
There's a lot of them calling death right now. You know what I'm saying? And, they're not falling off, but their friends are.
You said a lot of them calling it in?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. You listen to the music? Oh, yeah. Well, actually, they're calling more on other people.
Well, it ain't over. It ain't over.
Oh, it ain't over. Now, so I'm listening. Go ahead.
If they're calling it in, if they got it in their music, and they jamming with that music, and they rapping or singing that music, they calling death in, they get ready to go out.
So
they get ready to go out.
So how do we convince our children that their thoughts, their talk, their walk is a prayer. You understand? Because like I said, because like I just had a young lady in my office that said this. I mean, she spoke about herself in a negative way. And I was trying to tell her, you don't need to be talking like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's just one. We got kids that are, well, I mean, they just modeling what the adults. So I guess we got to start with the adults first. So how do you convince somebody that
their conversation is what they are?
Yeah.
Their conversation is what they are. Okay. You have them listen to what they're saying. You slow them down, and you may have to tell them, okay, what are you thinking about? Probably something has to happen still. Okay, so for instance, some years ago, my son was coming home from somewhere, it was nighttime, and he got to the parking lot, and somebody took his cell phone. I guess they had a gun or whatever, and got his cell phone. And so when I talked to him, I said, okay, what was you thinking? What were you thinking? And he told me that that's what he was thinking. Somebody was going to come and take his cell phone. That's what he was thinking, and that's what happened. You may be thinking it last week. You could think it last week. But if you don't intervene in that conversation, you're calling it towards you. You're calling it. You're calling it. So you got to intervene in that conversation.
So we got.
If you change the story.
Change the story. Change the narrative. I'm big on that. So as a people, we're having bad conversations. In our collective consciousness, you're saying that we're having a bad conversation.
You're having a conversation. The universe doesn't care, positive or negative. Whatever your daily conversation is, from daylight to daylight again, whatever that conversation is, you're going to experience it, whether you're talking about somebody else or yourself.
All right, we gotta.
So if you
go finish.
Oh, so if you think it's called a spell, I guess.
Oh yeah. Oh, see, I'm glad you brought that up. It's called a spell. So our thoughts form spells. You know what I'm saying? And our speeches cause spells. Now we got a caller, a brother Shaka. He got a question for you or a comment. Go ahead, brother Shaka. Or you just listening in?
I just wanted to, I was listening in, but this is very interesting because this is something that you and I, we always talk about, especially, the songwriting aspect. You had said something to me one time that really changed my mind about the way that I deliver my messages, because you told me that my music was spellbinded. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, you talking to Hatim?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so from that point, I actually teach as a series. One of the lessons is to do with life and death music, the power of words, because somewhere it was written that the power of life and death all lie where?
In the tongue.
The tongue. So, when we take this, for example, we take a word, nigger, derived from negro, derived from negro, derived from the Latin Greek, necro, meaning death. When we speak death into each other's existence on a daily, there's no wonder why we drop like flies.
So you spoke about people developing a meditation practice. Can you once again stress the importance of people having a meditation practice?
Okay. What meditation does, it slows down your thinking. And when you can slow down your thinking, you can do anything. That racing mind, that monkey mind.
You called it the what?
Monkey.
Okay, the monkey mind.
Yeah, you're a monkey mind. If your mind is racing to here and there and everywhere, you're rushing around and trying to get here and there. That is monkey. That's chaos. So now you're under somebody else's agenda. All right. So now this is how this.
Hold on, slow down, Shaka. Let her finish.
Okay.
So now, when you slow your mind down, and the best way I know is to sit, be quiet, shut up, do not have any music and TV, quiet. Close your eyes to take out distractions, and you sit there at least 15 minutes. If you can do it 5 minutes, you're doing great. But I would say 15 to 20 minutes. Now, I can do it for hours, okay? But that was from practice. Now, if you can sit there and slow that thinking down, which means you got to be paying attention to what your mind is doing, and then you keep on letting those thoughts go out as they come in. If you slow it down, you will figure out why this has happened like this, why I always meet the wrong women, why this is happening. You will figure it all out, but you cannot do it if you do not slow your mind down.
So
that's the importance of meditation.
So a meditation practice is becoming conscious of the thoughts that's flowing through your mind.
Yes, so you can be able to stop those thoughts and change them.
So people have, because the monkey mind, all right, so, because often with this monkey mind, because we're not talking about a wild monkey, we're talking about a domesticated, trained monkey mind. Now, let me explain what I mean, and let me know if you agree. Because this monkey mind has been trained, this monkey in our mind has been trained to bounce around to with useless information, useless gossip, and all types of things. Because you can't train a monkey, and it's been trained in this education system and in environments that we have been putting ourselves, and it constantly brings back foolishness to the owner of the monkey mind.
Yes, foolishness is right. But if you can control your brain, you can control your mind, you can control your body. If you control your body, you can control everything around you.
All right, we got a question. We got a question. Go ahead, Brother Shaka.
All right, so first thing that I want to ask you is the process of meditation. The thing is that I have never formally learned to meditate. I'm on the flip side of that, learn to organize my thoughts and to put them into context with what message I was trying to deliver. In doing so, let me ask you something. Is smoking weed a type of meditation, or is it something that can be used with meditation? Because when you say slowing your thoughts down, that's the place that takes me into that creative space where I make.
Okay. I think marijuana has its place. Weed, I think it has its place. But I used to smoke weed some years ago, but I stopped doing it because I want to know who I am, and I don't want the weed telling me who I am. I don't want any substance telling telling me who I am. I want to be just me here, sitting with nothing.
Shouts out to Yolanda K. Jones. Keep going. Oh, shouts out to Victoria.
Therefore, I don't use anything. Don't use anything. Don't use any music. You don't need nothing else except yourself.
But other things can be used. Shouts out to Brother Asifa. Now I got like for example,
I wouldn't suggest using.
Like for example, how about a bell, or rather than just sitting still, how about a Tai Chi type exercise, a movement exercise? How about yoga? How about running? You see what I'm saying? Because all these things, like you said, everything has its place. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. So yes. So now I practice yoga. I do stretches, yoga, and yoga is a moving meditation. But when you're doing yoga, you better make sure that your mind is right there with your breathing and your body, and not go. That's what yoga teaches you, to stay right here, now, where all your power is.
So the power rests in the now.
Yes, in the now, in your body, inside. And so this one sage would say, everybody walks around and suppose, while the one who sits in the center knows. And that is so true. You can sit there and you can center yourself. You got it made in the shade.
So now let's jump to let's jump back to the ancestors, because you know I do a daily toast every day, calling on the personal ancestors, because I felt that we in a lot of the traditions we're not giving enough credit to our personal ancestors. You go to an event and people will be toasting ancient ancestors. People will be toasting contemporary ancestors. Everybody will spend 15 minutes shouting out famous people's names, but then when you get to the part about family, you get one or two people yelling out names. And I felt
some people may have a problem with it because they got some people that they knew and they may have argued with or whatever and had some problems with them while they were still here. But that needs to change because they have changed. When they cross over, they have changed.
All right, what do you mean? Go ahead. Wait, hold on. What do you mean they changed? And then Shaka, I'll bring you in.
They turn into light. They are now pure love and light.
All right, so now I got a question. What if they were, excuse my language, what if they was a fucked up individual?
Well, then that's changed. That's gone. That was their part. Whatever they did here, they were just telling that story, and they lived out that story. But when they leave their body, that story is over.
All right, so they no longer carry any residue from this life.
It's gone. They're light. They're in the light now.
I'm gonna have to meditate on that one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to meditate on that one. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, cause a child rape is not, I understand playing this role, but I don't know if I want that light. I don't know if I want to bathe in that light. You understand what I'm saying?
It's a touchy subject, but when Adolf Hitler died, they had a party on the other side. Okay, I mean it was just it's just a story. It's just a story. It's just a story. And when you leave your body, it's over.
Oh, well then why come back? Why? I mean, it's like
why come back?
Oh yeah, or why come back? Or or what if all the ancestors, all right, because like I said, man, in some of the traditions I've run across, like they say, hell for African is being forgotten. And some people do things, some people act out stories, as you say, that do need to be forgotten. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, if everybody cross over and everything is all cool and we all cool on the other side, I don't know. That just...
Well, now, at a certain point, you're going to feel all the people that you messed over while you were here. You've only done that to yourself.
But
because
if
you're the only person in the room.
But you don't, you saying you don't take that over with you. You don't take
Okay, but wait. You don't keep, let's say this, put it this way. You don't keep it. Okay? As you are passing over, transitioning, you're going to feel everything that you put in everybody that you put it in.
But
okay?
but hold on, time out. But that's that. Listen, check this out. Being a ex-athlete, being somebody who used to fight in the streets, being somebody who used to get my ass beat, right? If I know when the end is coming, I could suffer the pain. Really, it's not pain. It's a minor inconvenience. I could take any pain as long as I know there's an end. But what you're saying is that when I cross over, I'm going to feel that, but it's going to come to an end. So I can fuck everybody over in this life and still be...
And then you get it back in the feeling. You get it because you're really messing with yourself.
See,
you're messing with yourself when you're messing with somebody else.
I'm sorry, but Shaka wanted to go. Shaka had a question. Go ahead, bro.
Okay. Yeah. Now, but you bring up some things, Tim, and I wanted to bring it right back to you because you believe in the mastery of self, no?
Oh yeah. Well, actually, let me clarify. When I say self-mastery, it's not the self that need to be mastered. It's all the other shit up under the self that need to be mastered. The self, according to the Gye-Nyame definition,
Self is perfect.
the self is absolute, complete, and perfect.
Okay, so if yourself and myself are the same, you have the same regard for in la catch as I do, right? In la catch meaning I am the other you. To cause you harm is to cause myself harm, no?
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what she's saying.
Now, but hold on. Now, but when I cross over, I still have.
When you cross over, you're going to feel everything that you did to everybody.
But it's limited,
You're
so.
not going to stay there.
But listen, this is the point. If that is the case, then I might as well go on and live and be an asshole. I might as well go and live and cause all types of destruction because when I pass away, when I die, it don't really make a difference because I'm going to feel it. But it's an end, and I won't be able to come back to everybody that, come back to the great self. Right?
Hey, hi Tim, but here's the thing, man.
Do you
Here's
want
the thing.
to feel that what you did to everybody?
See, but the point I'm saying is, I have watched people suffer purposely. I wake up in the morning and I practice suffering. So for me to go through some feelings for a limited amount of time is not a problem. Hell, you know what I'm saying?
Do you think you're going to burn in hell?
No. What I'm saying is that there's a certain part of us that we have to master. It's not the self. And we all got to find a way to connect back and get back into that self. But until we do, in some form or fashion, we return. Or we do other things to burn off all the shit that we have collected. I don't just go through the feeling and then I'm able to and move into that self. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's a while before I'm able to get there. It might take lifetimes for me to get there. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole piece is, if I could just die and cross over, why not just shoot myself right now? Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole piece is, I mean, really, because listen. See, what I'm saying is, if I could do that, if we could do that, then the need for human existence would no longer be valid. This experience that we're having, this experience that we're having is a waste of time. If I could just die.
No, you come here to learn lessons.
But hold on, if I'm coming from the self, if I'm Dame says, Dame, you can call in tonight. The lines are working. 614-556-4535. I can't remember what I was about to say, but go ahead. I'm just throwing it out there because I'm like this. If we're struggling through this life, right? And I come from the all perfect, all knowing self, right? Then what do I need to learn from a useless life? I'm not really, there's nothing I can take. You understand what I'm saying?
What do you need to learn from a useless life?
Because if there is no, how can I put it? If there's no consequences, if there is no
consequences, you get to feel it. The consequences, you get to
all right, cool. Maybe I'm not understanding the feeling. Explain what do you mean by feel?
As you going out, from the time you came here to the time you left, you get to feel everything you did to anyone and anything. You get to feel it. You get to experience it.
How long? Is it a time limit?
Go on into the light. No, not for eternity. You go on into the light.
Now, because I don't.
You are God.
But the issue is.
I get it.
But the issue is, I have forgot. I have to be reminded. See, because we can say we gods, but saying you God and being you God is totally different. You know what I'm saying? Because, even the concept that we have for God is not our own. We don't even understand what we're saying most people don't understand when they say what they're saying when they say they're God.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's the confusion, because everybody got their own perception of what God is. And you people have the perception of God is through the way their parents behave.
All right, cool. We got somebody else on the line. The lines are getting hot. Uh-oh, we got the world famous Dame Lee. Dame wanted to join the conversation. Now,
that ain't the real Dame Lee.
That's the real Dame Lee.
It's the real, it's your family. That ain't the Gye-Nyame Dame Lee from back in the day. Well, Dame Lee. What's up, yo? This is before the song.
How many people on the line?
Right now, there's 4 of us. I could hold 100 people on this line. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted you to share your information with the fam. I don't be playing. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of glad we got the call-ins. But Dame, did you have a question for Queen Najla? Or a comment?
I just wanted to salute all of y'all, just put growth in y'all's expression. I think that's beautiful on so many levels. And I tell you said something very important just before I was able to chime in. And it's recognizing the language that we speaking, from expressing God on down the devil. Like, we're speaking a bastardized expression. And we're trying to convey it as best we can through our impressions that were given to you. So we must first even acknowledge what language we're speaking to each other, although it sounds like we're saying something in English. The way we experience each word that we say, we all have a different experience of. So until we vibrate into an agreeable exchange on that note, it's going to sound somewhat debatable. So I just want to salute you just for growing. I mean, I'm in growing platform. That's my purpose in calling in, just to say, let's be mindful that everything we're saying, we have a specific relationship to each word. So him and or her saying anything could trigger either excitement or agitation or some type of argumentative disposition or a heavy agreeing position. So we got to first put that realization into perspective, into the right scope, in order for it to come out making sense in the end, because all these things are possible as far as the direction that you're talking in, but it can also be the furthest thing from a possibility. So as craftsmen, as blacksmiths of intelligence, we got to get back into the ownership in an agreeable stance on what it is that we're saying collectively, so we know what we're saying individually.
Yeah, so what he's saying is perception. We all have our own perception.
Well, not just perception, but an experience. Not just the perception, but the experience. You experienced a concept that was given to you in a gratifying way, and then it was given to you in that very prescription you were being taxed for. We were speaking about this on yesterday. My family, Jeff Hodges, YoungMenEffectiveMe.com, with one of our sister teammates, Brooklyn Sun, over there at Worldwide Radio Network. We were just speaking on this type of topic. And what we have to pay attention to is that we all have a sensitive attachment to how we learn how to comprehend and express ourselves. And that can cause distance at times, even though we feel like we may be closing in and getting close. We must respect that we have a different way of the experience. You know what I mean? And it can be from love or the concept of hate, from God all the way to the concept of devil. We all have a specific relationship with how we interpret it, let alone how we express it. You feel me?
Word.
So it is trying to find balance where it doesn't sound debatable, but, you know what I mean? But just look at how we look at the hue of information, how it resonates, and how you experience it. You know what I mean?
So check this out. This is the question. Overcome this, because you're right, because all of us, especially now, you can have a whole isolated experience from everybody else for years before you make contact with anybody else. We got people right now in our families that sit down and watch TV consistently for 30 years. So they have a total different experience reality than somebody who might have been traveling. And then you got other people that spent their whole time in the education place, and another person that spent time in the workplace. Damn. I feel you. All right, so you got all these different perspectives.
All of these different perspectives, Tim, but still the same dilemma in humanity. And when I say humanity, our dilemma is time and space. And I'm just talking about as human beings. Time, space is our true dilemma, because time and space in the spiritual world does not exist. So the piece is that if we're talking about this spirit within you, this self within you, that's just like me, I am the other you. Now, going back to En La Catch, I am the other you, so to cause you harm is to cause myself harm. Even maintaining that principle through life does not mean I will not harm you.
It just means that you realize that you harming yourself when you do it.
Yeah.
Because that's part of the warrior. No, I'm saying that's part of the warrior mythos. You know what I'm saying? I understand that we are one, but, I'm going to release your spirit if I have to. You understand what I'm saying?
So, yeah, I do. And that's what's taking me to this point. And this is directed to you. Because we overstand. We get to a point where we overstand information. So when we hear other people speak of the higher self and the lower self, it doesn't resonate as deeply as it did when we were trying to figure out the difference and the distinction between the higher self and the lower self. One being selfless, the other being selfish. You understand? One moving out of man's agenda being politics, and the other one being peace. That resides within each and every one of us. We get to choose daily which agenda. We get to choose daily which endeavor, what behavior. And that is what travels with us for as long as we live. Now here's the piece, is that my behavior might upset you. My behavior might even cause you to hate me. Once again, I'm the other you. It takes one to know one, meaning that there is no one principle or virtue that you can ever experience from another until you have first found it and discovered it within yourself. The self. And keep in mind, even with that being truth to speak, once you know yourself, keep this in mind. Go ahead, sister. No, go ahead. You got the floor. Oh, once you know yourself, then you know everything. Because the world is created from the inside, and what you see outside with your eyes, that's what you created from the inside. With that being said, there's a truth in that, and some of that is also not as true as it could be. The concept of the world is not equal in most cases to the planet, which is not always right. So we got to keep in mind how these terms became so comfortable in our usage of expression, right? Because certain things have a definition until you recognize what the author prescribed. We're so far away from what the author prescribed of each word. We don't know where the words switch themselves from. And until you get the etymology of certain things, you'll find yourself still in conflict, just in translation. Because there's a meaning to things, like the word nice. That really means foolish and ignorant. Like that's the definition of author. And create that expression means the word bad. The author said is woman is man.
Is what?
Right? So it's things like this that we just put around. And we don't pay attention to value of the author. We spoke it for our self-expression because we're simple formation. And that's how we've been taught to communicate, manifestation. See, and so our translation is based off of how you were taught to communicate. So we'll find ourselves agreeing with things that are still disagreeable, depending on which end of the spectrum you're trying to balance yourself with. But the forward motion of the energy that we can feel, the vibration, is what's allowing the forward motion of the intelligence to resonate. That's what's allowing us to tap into what we'll call our ancestors as others. It's not what we're saying. We're not going to really push the rock down the court constructively, especially speaking like this, because it's too diluted. It's too.
Hello? Dang.
I think we lost.
He'll come back.
Phone dropped. I apologize. That was my error. But like I was saying, we've been given an algorithm to keep us from glowing and using our melanation in the correct way. And we can stop using these words and just really pause, like you said, kind of get in the silence mode, not so much just for meditation. It becomes a form of meditation. The vibration of your silence it'll start resonating a certain energy. It's the reason why we speak like this, because if we started vibrating, those that I call the parasite, the less melanated force that's controlling how we think we're expressing and feeling ourselves, if we really resonate, it's called that virus becomes sick. See, right now we're under a hallucinating type state because we're using a code that was injected into us way before we had a choice to make decisions for real. So we gotta look at today from that scope so we can gather a better approach to how we want to utter out the sound bites, because we're not the authors of the expression. We're regurgitators, and we're looking for a way to find a balance or a completeness of self, a way to move forward without acknowledging the sickness of how we speak. You feel me? We speak a war language. The language itself is distorted, and that keeps us in a certain distance.
Right.
You know what I mean? As collective individuals.
Right. So we start. So she'll say something, and I'm picking up my definition, but she might mean something else. And this happens to us all the time. This happened to us in our personal relationships. And I think part of, hip hop is one of the cures for this, man, because in our culture, you know what I'm saying, at least as far as hip hop, we was creating words. You know what I'm saying? Or redefining. You know what I'm saying? Because I think some Kujichaglia has to go forth as far as our communication, especially about spiritual terms. As a matter of fact, I think we might need to go back like our ancestors, or like you, like Dame and Shaka, and even Sister Parish, Queen Najla. We might need to go back to the arts, because I think the art is probably the purest way that we're going to be able to communicate these ideas. You understand what I'm saying?
Creative side, yes.
Because if you look at some of the stuff Dame do with the green screen, like I said last night when we was talking, man, that's that hieroglyph 3.0. You understand what I'm saying? And some of the stuff that Shaka do with that music, you know what I'm saying? That's hieroglyph 3.0. You know what I'm saying? That's probably how we didn't get into arguments about stuff like this, because we laid symbols down and I left it at that. Here, symbols. You might shit. Go ahead, sister. Because this show right now, handling your business.
Oh, me?
Yeah, it's your show right now.
I thought I heard another voice. Okay. Okay. So I, the ancestor thing. The bottom line. We all got our own experiences. We all walk in our own shoes. Nobody knows what shoes we came from. So what I'm saying to all of this is, if you have the ability or even the interest in knowing who you are, the way that I know is to be able to sit down and shut up.
That's mean. You ain't got to tell me to shut up. I'm in the living running my mouth. No, but listen. Now, I just thought about this. Because what Dame was saying, and what you were saying, and then what we was experiencing, the cross communications. I think a major way that our ancestors handled this was initiation.
We can have a lot of things going on. Ancestors can. None of that. It's fine to know that. Those are stories, okay? It's fine to know those stories. It's fine to know where the hieroglyphs came from. It's fine to know all of that. But if you really want your life to run the way you want it to run, and not be under somebody else's agenda
very important. What I'm capable of doing with CGI and green screen, I did crack a form of the Matrix. Like, if you go back to the movie The Matrix, I'm the version of the movie where Morpheus was talking to Neo, explaining to him what the construct you see. We are in a construct. Even the way that we're communicating right now, it's always been kind of staged. We're not the authors of none of the words we were saying. We're just trying to assemble them in a manner that we're wishfully hoping that the vibration comes across, right? That those outside of ourselves can translate what we're aiming to convey in spite of the construct. See, I'm a parent teacher. I homeschool my son, and I let him know there's 4 major elements outside of yourself that's going to dictate how yourself learns how to express itself. And I show him there's going to be letters, there's going to be numbers, there's going to be colors, there's going to be shapes. If anybody have outside just the element charts and all that, but those 4 algorithms are what dictate how you navigate. It's going to tell you which way you can go, how fast you can go. It's going to tell you if you can enter, if you can exit. So these things dictate, and you're not the author of that, but you follow it to a respect because the information you have in addition of the gratifying success of navigation is the penalty punishment. And so those variables, that yin-yang balance or that exchange is going to dictate how successful your communication interpretation is going to work. We're in a construct. We're in someone else's, something else's platform. And so we gotta pause to a certain level just to absorb how this is all clicking for real. Not just in a goofy exchange, but like really like walk outside. Look at what you're sitting around. If you really respect it, you've adopted a lot of people's thoughts. Rather you call it table, chair, couch, cup, whatever the case is. Whatever the case is. James, do you remember 15, damn near 20 years ago, being a part of an event I put together called the Renaissance? I want to bring Black Cultural Center over at Ohio State, right? Right. Yeah. Go on. Now, and we also recorded over at Olive together. And so I say all that just to say, I've been a fan these years. And the one thing that always rang out, because I never knew any one particular song except for the one that I was singing on. One thing that I always remembered about what you represented, it was one mind, one body, one soul production. Yeah, one mind, one body, one soul. That was my first production company back. Respect. Salute. And that's where I'm really still there. That's what the real fake media thing is. There's really aiming to embody that vibration. And that's really, it goes into another visual we were given, and that would be the avatar, right? And I'm talking about the blue one.
Right. You talking about the movie?
But yeah, the energy. If you saw when they got together, and it just wasn't no talking. We just want to sit. We're gonna rock a minute. We're gonna find out where we at. You know what I mean? If we need to bring life together, we can do it. And really, that is the vibration. It's not these words. You know what I mean? The way we use these words, we're really malicious with them. You know what I mean? We're quite masterfully vulgar with speaking. We're great at it. You know what I'm saying? And the art of manipulation is one of our skill sets. You feel me?
Right.
And that's one of our gifts. Speaking this way is to manipulate. Now, sometimes manipulation, sometimes it can be a good thing. You know what I mean? Just because you have a hammer doesn't mean everything has to be be a nail. I heard that expression. I may be paraphrasing slightly, but that's the correct expression, right?
Yes, it is.
So you know, it's a way that we use things that we just adopt or pick up. You feel what I'm saying? So just look at it with a calmness. See, the way I lost my son, it shook how I wanted to play believe. Like at this moment, I don't play believe. I don't believe nothing, right? I don't exercise that muscle. I either know or I don't know. And I can respect it. Not a qualm in that. There's no qualm about it. Me having to fight for my second son here in Atlanta, Georgia, the way I had to stand up as a man in the courtroom, it helped me regain my sovereignty. Like, I am a man by definition and on paper. Like, they see me a little differently than how they practice with other people. But what it made me pay attention to was how the words were being used. We must respect that we speak with a slave tongue. Not so much that we're slaves as the narrative that we adopted it from, but it's how we get to move forth with how we speak. The word understand, if you ever say understand, and this is why cops can lean on you. When you say you agree to somebody's understanding, you give them jurisdiction. What you did was contracted with their stand. And that's what understand means. It means to contract. But we easily, frivolously, just like, yeah, I understand what you're saying. I understand. We don't, and when you get held accountable for that, then it's a contest. It's a confrontation. You don't want to honor that you contracted. And this is how you get warrant and things of this nature because you're not standing in honor. You feel me?
Right.
So we must really like what you do on Hot Chum as far as how you break down the sciences, the wolf and the sheep expression. That's gonna forever have a highlight because you expressed it so beautiful. You know what I mean? So elegantly. You know what I mean? It made great sense to your nephew. You understand what I'm saying? He
right.
Gets it. You see me?
Right.
So this is what's happening to us. We have this wolf-sheep exchange that goes on. And if you don't agree with me, then I'll figure out a way to make you agree. Right? So I might have to dress up differently.
Right.
I might have to say something a little different. Maybe I might have to grab her to hang out with me or grab him to hang out with me. Maybe I might need to pull up in the car. Maybe I might need to have a couple of dollars hanging out of my pocket. My pants to sag a little bit. Maybe I need her to prep her breast up a little bit. But I'm going to figure out a way. You see what I'm saying? And this is the gift of manipulation. And again, sometimes it'll help you move forward. A lot of times it'll hold you back. Let's respect that what we're saying is not what we're expressing. And that's where we get into the whole, oh man, I can vibe with it because it's the vibe that you're rocking with. It ain't really what homie or shorty is saying. It's the vibration.
Right.
Like, okay, the intent of this vibration allows my vibration to say I agree. We can move forward. I'm gonna dismiss your words because you use it in other context, but I know what you're trying to say. We'll throw that piece out there. I know what you meant though.
Right.
And it's off the vibration. It's off that one mind, one body, one soul vibration. You feel me? And that's why, as an MC, it seems so beautiful when people will rock with it. A lot of people ain't know what I was saying. You know what I mean? I was trying to be as witty as possible. I'm making up metaphors and all this. Like how can I say? I'm creating my own vibrated hieroglyphs, if you will. But it was a vibration that was like, yeah, that shit is hard. That shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
So for the God to be able to have a 20-year sensation to record that's humbling. You feel me? That's humbling. Because it shows that truth was the truth. You feel me? If it was a lie, that wouldn't have been a memory he held that's what our ancestors leave with us. When we put the right vibration, we know when we exist, and we know when we in constant. We know. You know when you're doing 100. You know when you're doing 99. You know when you're doing 56.1. You know when you're doing 42 point nothing else. Like, you know. If you give me 100, you gonna know you gave me 100 because I don't want to cheat that. But if I pick up one you's trying to slight me, then I can't give you the best me because I got to now protect self. It's something I'm trying to get healthy with. I gotta protect because it sounds cool, but the vibe is off a little bit. You see,
right?
This is what we have to pay attention to, and that's why I tell the stage, man. This is poetry and motion. Yes, this is the vibration that we must continue passing on and just growing. We need to till this soil. We need to fertilize this type of soil and find out exactly what it is that we're taking in as the concept of nourishment.
Word.
You know what I mean?
All right, fam, this is what we got to do. I want to give Queen Najla the opportunity to give us some closing words because this was your interview. And actually your conversation. I want to thank you for taking the time because there's other things I know that you could have been doing, but I appreciate you coming to Gye-Nyame Journey. And as my brother said on Iliad, you know what I'm saying? On Iliad, you know what I'm saying? Got the G house on Iliad. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank them for coming out. I want to thank Shaka for calling everybody who run this on Facebook. You know, I like to keep it within the time limit because we got to train up on a test. So Queen Najla, you got some words on it. You got to close it. And once again, keep joining us. If you don't mind, we do this again. I'm gonna download the Facebook feed and shoot it up to YouTube. I'm gonna find a way. I don't know how to share it with you, but it'll be on my timeline, and you just gonna get it and you can share it as well. All right. Shouts out to Dane. Real Fake Media. Shouts out to Shaka. Alright, Shaka, Dame sent you a message. You talking to me, Dame, or you talking to Shaka?
I'm talking to you, Shaka. Hey, Queen, like, let's stay lean, but definitely I want to holler at Shaka. You got that music. We need to, man, this is a blessing. I'm glad that I didn't even leave the crib. I was going to make a run around the corner, and I'm happy to see you on board. I had to get in, you know what I mean? At least just to see the wisdom that I even got invited, you know what I mean, to chop it up. It even makes more sense because, like, Shaq just, you know what I mean? He gave me some nourishment. So, numbers up here for us to build, man. I'm here for us. We here for us. And like I say, everywhere else, without us, there is no us. That's it.
All right, fam. So with that, I say peace. Y'all be on. Those of you out there, be on the lookout for the Daily Toast where we get up. We salute through our ancestors. We go through the routine. We do the breathing and meditation. And then we get into a little quick conversation. And like Dane was saying, we all got our own perceptions. So I always shoot it at you. And like I said, I appreciate it. If you disagree or agree, let me know. Let's talk so that we can build, right? Because we got to come up with a common language. I'm getting there. You know what I'm saying? I'm working towards it. I like stories, because stories kind of make it simple. You know what I'm saying? But yo, this brother Hot Tim, and we are out.
Gye-Nyame family, stand up. Peace.
Peace.
if you're not adding anything to